Jul sedang learn how to calculate.
It's on sale, cheaper than normal. So everything.
What is dyscalculia? Dyscalculia is a term referring to a wide range of difficulties with maths, including weaknesses in understanding the meaning of numbers and difficulty applying mathematical principles to solve the problems. There are 3 documentary videos about dyscalculia. So, based on the video, they have the same characteristic, which is they are struggle to learn numbers, and not only that, they also lost the sense of direction. For example, they difficult to distinguish whether left or right. So, this made them unable to read the math. Studies have been done to try to identify predictors of potential mathematical disability. The predictors include not knowing which of 2 digits is larger, for example, understanding the magnitude and relationship of numbers, lacking effective counting strategies, inability to add simple single-digit numbers mentally, poor fluency in identification of numbers, and lastly is limitation in working memory capacity. Briefly, dyscalculia is not the same as math anxiety, but people with dyscalculia can react strongly to activities involving mathematics. For instance, they may get upset or frustrated when playing board games. Keep in mind that all people can occasionally struggle with math. Those with dyscalculia will struggle a greater extent than their peers, and their difficulties will continue over time.
The differences between these 3 people are their ability to overcome their disability with their gifted trait. As an example, Josie Duncan, who is a famous musician, also known as a dyscalculia patient. Despite her disability to performing mathematical calculation, she performing on a stage instead. She loved coming up with new ideas or fresh ideas about song, writing a song, and even produce a song. Even though she have difficulties in learning musical theory, which involving thinking of chord as a number, she continue and overcome it, and now she is a musician. Next, Lynn Rothman. Compared to 2 others, Lynn Rothman has no sense of time at all. She cannot read analog clock, she cannot translate it into what time it is, and most first cases is she do not know how fast or how slow time goes. When she was in a high school, she often ride a bike while hearing a playlist to make sure that she is on time at school. Next, Erica Cannon, who is a successful middle school teacher who teaches disability children. Out of these 3 person or patient, she's the only one is cured or free from both disease, which is dyslexia and dyscalculia. The thing is, she received a treatment or she was diagnosed when she was in the 1st grade. Dyslexia or dyscalculia can be cured as long as you receive an early treatment.
Everyone must have their own challenges, right? Same goes for those who suffer from dyscalculia. Some common challenges faced by learners with dyscalculia is a learning disability that affect performance in mathematics include mistakes such as number addition, substitution, transposition, omission, and reversals in writing, reading, and recalling numbers. They have a difficulty with abstract concept of time and direction, such as they may be struggle to read a map, or it is difficult to know the time because they are difficult to read the clock. Lastly is they are inability to recall schedule and sequences of past or future events. People People with dyscalculia are difficult to learn, especially learning involving numbers, because they have a weakness to understand the meaning of numbers and difficult to apply it in a learning to solve mathematical problems. So, I include the strategies for managing dyscalculia. Firstly is talk or write out a problem. In the case of dyscalculic students, math definitions are merely abstract and numbers are simple marks on a page. Talking or write it down in the form of sentence will help to see the relationship between the elements. Even restarting word issues in a new way will assist in organizing information and seeking answers. Next is draw the problem. By drawing the problem will also allow visual learners to grasp relationship and concept. Students should draw through the problem with the image that demonstrate their interpretation of the problem and display ways to solve the problems. Besides, we also can break tasks down into subsets. Dyscalculic students may quickly be confused by a complicated problem or idea, particularly if they draw on a previous knowledge which they may not have retained. Separating the issues into its components and going on them one at a time will help students concentrate, see connections, and prevent overload. Can Piaget's theory be linked to students with dyscalculia? In my opinion, yes. Piaget's theory is related with learners with dyscalculia. According to Piaget's stages of cognitive development, he has identified 4 primary stages of development such as sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operational. One of these stages is very related with dyscalculia, which is sensory motor stage. Why did I say sensory motor stage? It is because at this stage, it is characterized by the progressive acquisition of object permanence, in which child become able to find objects after they have been displaced, even if the object have been taken out of his field of vision. According to Piaget, a further feature of children at this stage is their capacity to connect numbers to objects. For example, they know how many cars, such as there are 1 car, 3 cars, 5 cars, but child with dyscalculia have a sign like they have difficulty learning how to count. They are struggle to link a number to an object.
According to Brenner ecological theory, it is very important to have a linkage between schools and parents. As an example, in Erica Cannon cases, her family and her school have a linkage which solve her problem. Children with disability tend to face more difficulties such as difficulty in learning, peer pressure or family pressure, and also negative stereotypes. That is why the linkage between school and family is important in order to understand and solve the children's problems. Based on Erik Erikson's 8 stages of psychosocial development, when they were in a grade schooler, which is 6 to 11 years old, most of them, including the 3 that we discussed, face inferiority, which is they have low self-esteem, feel stupid, and also they feel shame. Individual was born with different intelligence, different personality, and also different temperament. Based on Spearman in 1927, he stated that every individual has general intelligence and also specific intelligence. Okay, according to Gardner Multiple Intelligence, Erica Cannon, who is a successful middle school teacher in linguistic intelligence, while Josie Duncan is a musical intelligence, and also Lynn Rothman is a visual or spatial intelligence. Talking about personality, we can relate to the big 5 personality. Children with low scores of extroversion trait will more quiet, withdrawn, and also will more reserved. We can see this personality on these 3 people, Erica Cannon, Josie Duncan, and also Lynn Rothman, when he was in elementary school. They were like this because they feel like they are so stupid and they cannot mix well with their friends. In a nutshell, student with disability is also a human, and also they are worthy just like any other student. They have the right to learn in education, they have the right to live in a community, and they have the right to enjoy their friendship. So as a good teacher, educate them and help them to be a better person in the future.
I can fly the sky.